Hi, I'm Poke Villalona with Stellar Fishing, and today's video is going to be a bit lengthy, but if you want to find some really nice fishing spots, just make sure to watch the entire video. And this video is based on fishing Oso Bay and Oso Creek. Now, my wife and I, we've fished all the way up and down the coast of Texas, and probably this is the one that I'd consider as a heaven for fishing. And there's a lot of bays. You know, you got Matagorda Bay up north, Cabano Bay around the Rockport area, Baffin Bay further south, and even Port Mansfield, which is even further south than that. And the fishing in all those places are excellent. But what's unique about Oso Bay and Oso Creek is there's a ton of places to fish for the public. All those other places are lined with private property, you know, condos, you know, businesses, you name it. There's not a lot of variation on places to fish in those areas, although there's some good places. But as you'll see in this video, Oso Creek and Oso Bay, which is the same thing obviously, but it's a heaven for fishing because there's so many different options and so many different places. So we're going to start here where Oso Creek and Oso Bay starts. We're between the college, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and the Naval Air Station. So let's go from here. So this is where Oso Bay starts. And if you take a look at the map, we're between the college, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and the Naval Air Station, which is over there on the horizon. And this is the one bridge that crosses over from the Corpus Christi Bay, which is this whole entire area over here. And it goes under this bridge and goes this way into the Oso Bay, which eventually turns into Oso Creek. So this is an excellent place to fish. I prefer fishing on the other side, right there below the bridge, right about where that egret's standing there on the tip, and just throw in there, and also on the back side, because this side it's a little harder to get past on these rocks because of the way they're set up. So it's harder to fish on this side. But on the other side over there, you can walk right up to those rocks, sit down, throw in, and have some luck. So this is where the Oso Bay actually starts, and we're going to work our way through the entire bay to where it turns down into a creek. First thing I want to point out where this bridge is that no fishing from the bridge. And I'm just putting that on there because in some of my videos I show my love for fishing off bridges, and people get all aggravated saying how that's illegal, you're not supposed to do that. And oh well, okay. Anyway, this is the back right where the Oso Bay starts. And I talked about fishing right there under the bridge, but back here behind the college, that's Texas A&M University, this part of the bay back here in the back, wade fishermen love to fish back here. You can see a couple of guys straight out there, and if you look way on the horizon, there's two more people, and then there's about 10 of them over there on the side. This whole area, you can get way out there and still be in waist deep water. It makes for some excellent fishing, and because once you get past that point over there at the end of the college, then that entire apartment complexes and everything on the other side, that's all private property. So that's not somewhere you can fish, but just the start of Oso Bay here, whether you're fishing on either side of on this bridge or on the backside, wade fishing back here, that's some of the best fishing in the area. And we'll go to our next stop from here. Our next stop on Oso Bay are the turnarounds. Now this is South Padre Island Drive, this freeway here that comes from Corpus, which eventually goes right into Flower Bluff, which goes directly out to the island. And there's two turnarounds here. There's the north one, which is this side, and the south turnaround, which is on the other side. Now on this side, I love to fish in this corner right here. I've made a video, there's a previous video of fishing from this location, but these turnarounds, because we're on the horizon that way, is the bridge that we were at for the start of the video. But from here, Oso Bay expands, comes under this bridge, under SPID, and works that way, all the way out to where it's going to start getting smaller and turns into a creek. Now here, like I said, you always see a lot of activity, a lot of people fishing out here. Now on the back side of this one, where that white truck is, that side, never had any luck. Just if you like catching hardhead, that's where you want to fish, but nobody likes hardheads. So this is an excellent place where these guys are fishing. You can sit in the shade, you can park, pull out your cooler, whatever you want. And it's the same way on the other side. There's excellent fishing on the other side. And as you can see, a lot of rods are out today. There's a lot of people. And also going this way, you can fish all along this side here. And see, there's also some wade fishermen that are out there. Now, you can also go even further that way, wade fishing. And you see people periodically from there, because that whole side, there's a fence. But as long as you stay on this side of the fence and walk along the shore, you're good to go. So this is an excellent spot for fishing. And we'll go on to our next spot. Our next stop is the very end of Holly Road here in Corpus Christi. And this leads to the Oso Bay wetlands and preserve, which is this entire area over here. Now for this fishing spot, you basically park here where Holly Road ends. And of course you can't drive any further because of the barriers. So you want to take light tackle, just your rod, maybe your tackle box, or unless you have one of those buggies that people load up all their fishing gear to pull, because following those power lines, you're going to walk about half a mile to the end of this sidewalk for this excellent fishing spot. And we're not going to film the whole walk, but we'll catch up with you as soon as we get down there. As you made it to the end of the sidewalk, then it turned into a trail. And this is where the trail comes out. And if you take a look at it, this is Oso Bay. And that bridge over there, that's the turnarounds that we just came from. The left and the right, the Flower Bluff side and the Corpus Christi side of the turnaround. So once you reach this area out here, of course you got a lot of places that you can fish. You can fish all along this bank that runs this way, all the way down there to the end. But it turns into private property when you go a little further that way. So I haven't ventured past that side. Now on the back side of this over here, this is where Oso Bay basically starts turning into Oso Creek, to where it starts getting smaller as it goes back. Now where I like to fish is we pass the little entrance over here, but you can see the sand, where the sand is cleared up, and you can walk all the way out there to that tip where that power line is, and there's like the end of a peninsula over there that's really good to walk over there. You can see there's a little bit of a trail, and you can walk all the way down there to the end and fish. And also it comes and makes like a little cove back here in the back that's also good fishing. So, and if you continue to go this way, that's the old railroad tracks from when Holly Road used to be a railroad. And actually I'll turn it back on when we get down there, because it's a nice view. So here we're finally at the end of the trail, the cement and the little grass trail, to where this is the very end. And this used to be a railroad track that went all the way through Corpus, down Holly Road, all the way to Flower Bluff, which is straight ahead of us. Now, I'm not going to make a video of the other side, but it's identical to this side. You just come in through the Flower Bluff side on Flower Bluff Road. Now, all you have to do is turn at Flower Bluff Road where the Walmart is. And actually there's a little, like a dirt road next to that water tower that brings you into this other side. And actually you see some people fishing over there with their throw net, trying to catch some bait too. So this is the end of it. And as you can see, Oso Bay starts turning to Oso Creek going that way. But an excellent spot. But like I said, I'm a little winded. We walked out here and I owe my wife a drink. Diet Coke, but we brought Chaka out here where she's going to get in her steps for the day. But like I said, out here, and plus it's a beautiful view too. And the turnarounds are over there, but they're supposed to do some restoration project with this trestle that's left here from years and years ago, but we'll see when that happens. So, and again, plenty of places to throw in here. So make sure that when you look for different places to go fishing, grab your little cart, roll it down this road, or just come walk with light tackle. And this is an excellent place to fish. Now, let me point this out. When you're fishing Oso Bay and Oso Creek, this side over here, which is the Flower Bluff side, that is all private property. So from here all the way to where we started this video, where the college is and the Naval Air Station, all of that side, with the exception of that turnaround over there, is all private property. So there's not, you can't fish on that side unless you're a property owner. Now this side, the Corpus Christi side, has a lot more public spaces, and we're going to make our way over to the mud bridge, and that's going to be our next stop. So moving further down the Oso Bay, we get to the mud bridge, which is actually my personal favorite area to fish. And the mud bridge just isn't here at the mud bridge. It's back here in the back, going toward the spillway that's way back there in the back, which we'll show you in a little bit. But this is the mud bridge. This is on Yorktown, and this is the back road that goes into Flower Bluff from Corpus Christi. And I've fished this little stretch right here to that pole out there, to that other white pole, to under this bridge, and caught a lot of redfish, caught a lot of drum in this area. And down here below, plenty of trout. Now, here at the mud bridge, you can also, if I can point that little spot out there, that's a little peninsula that's out there, that if you got your rubber shoes, because it's pretty wet going that way, you can make your way out there to that little peninsula, that little point out there, and fish from there. Usually when it's colder in the winter months, makes for some excellent fishing. Caught some big fish out there, but this is a stretch from that comes into the bay. Now the other side, that's all private property on the other side, all the way down the houses, the piers you see over there, so there's no fishing on that side. But on this side, and both sides, you can fish under the bridge. I've had better luck on this side, and actually even on this side, I've had better luck on the side we're standing than the opposite side of this bridge. So this is an excellent place to fish, the mud bridge, and we're going to show you one more area that's still here in the mud bridge area, and we'll go from there. Now here on the back side of the mud bridge, you can see all the way to the spillway, and once you go around that corner, which we're going to go to in a little bit, then it basically turns into a creek. So fishing this area here, have yet to see a whole lot of people fishing on this right side, except over there at that point where you see those vehicles. But on the left side, and actually if I can point out that little point right there, that's probably some of the best fishing in Corpus Christi, at that little point. And not so much in the middle of the day like today when it's in the 90s, but in the evening or in the winter months, that's your prime location to fish that little point right there. And it's not that far from the mud bridge to walk out there and get some fishing done. But this is the back part of the mud bridge. And actually, and I've even seen people wade fish where I've seen them walk across, all the way across. That's how shallow it is. And of course, I don't know about during high tide, but I have seen people literally walk all the way across this bay. Now we've made our way all the way to the back of Oso Creek, and that's the mud bridge up there on the horizon. You can just drive along the north side or the west side, whatever they call it. You can drive up on this sand, it's nice and packed, to come back here to the back. And this is all the way to the back where the spillway is from that huge reservoir that's back there. And people love to bring their vehicles out here and launch their kayaks from here. Because with the kayaks, you can take your kayak over there to the spillway, fish over there, fish this whole area. But also, as you go here to the right around the bend, then it turns into Oso Creek, where it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller as you go. But once you go that way, in that direction, when it starts turning into a creek, then it's not very accessible to where you can drive that far. And to walk, some of the neighborhoods, you can go through the neighborhoods all the way to the back, and they have these little walking trails where you can eventually get to the creek. But I've never heard stories, or I've never seen people, or I've never gone myself and fished back there in that area, so I couldn't tell you. I've fished plenty of times in this area to be able to tell you where to fish, where not to fish in this entire area. But this is the very back, and I'm just going to show you one more place that's kind of like a little hidden spot. And it's not a great fishing place, but it does make for an interesting place to fish. And that's just going to be the last spot on this video, and we'll go from there. Our last stop on this video is where the Oso Creek is actually a creek, and this is pretty big here. And actually, this is Yorktown up here at the top. Yorktown and Sun Valley Drive if you want to take a look at it. And I'm not positive whether this is private property or not, but in the past, over the years, come down here a couple of times to fish, and sometimes they have it blocked off at the top, and sometimes they don't. Right now, you can just drive down here if you want. And this creek keeps running this way for about a couple more miles. And at this point, as you're fishing down this way, chances are you're going to be catching some catfish or some gar down here. Not so much your redfish, trout, or black drum or anything else. But this is the very end, not the very end, because like I said, it's still got a couple of miles of Oso Creek. So this is a nice little place just to come. Although they keep it pretty trashy here, you would think these people would clean up, you know, when they're fishing. And again, some people may just come down here just to drink. So, but if you take a look over here, you can still drive into the woods along the creek, probably for another 30, 40 yards that way. And there's a couple of little spots that have little inlets where you can walk and just throw a line. But my thing would be to throw some kind of throw line, you know, just with a bob, and leave it overnight, just like a trout line, and come back the next day, check it in the morning, and so on. Just make sure you follow the regulations of the Texas Game Wardens, Parks and Recreation and stuff. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button, and support StellarFishingTackle.com for all your fishing tackle needs. And we ship everything within 24 hours. That's on our webpage. Thank you very much.